so Anoraks on air for episode 1. This is going to be a show where we talk about everything from movies to comic books to Jareth kicking people off his lawn. So it's going to be pretty good. I do have my two panelists here. I got Blake Ross and I got Mr. Jareth Love. How you guys doing? Good?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
Yeah.
We're all tired.
Long day.
Long day. That's awesome. So I do want to get into some trailers here. Some stuff may or may not have come out. I don't know if you guys heard about it. So we did have the Pet Sematary remake trailer. Did you guys check it out?
No, not yet.
Nobody checked this out?
No.
Okay.
I haven't looked at any of the trailers.
No, you know, okay, so here's the thing. This is my reaction to it. I'm not a big enough fan of Pet Sematary, the movie, to be like, I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm also not a big enough fan to say, this is stupid, why are they remaking this, you know? So that's just kind of where I'm at with this. The trailer, I felt like it didn't really do much for me. I don't know. But here's the thing, too. When that came out, the original It movie, I'm a bigger fan of the original Pet Sematary than I am of the original It movie, even though I'm not a big fan of Pet Sematary. But the remake of It blew me away.
Yeah.
So if this remake for Pet Sematary can do
what it did,
yeah, exactly. Like, I think I'm gonna be good with it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Pet Sematary fans, anybody, or is it just me here? It's just me.
I'm too young.
That's how I felt about the original. Though. I was just like, nah, with it. It didn't really do anything for me. It was fine. But like the remake, like I said, it's one of the best Stephen King adaptations out there, and I'm not a huge fan of the original.
Right.
But, the first half is good with the kids, but the second half, just not so much. So, but I think I still think Pet Sematary is going to do pretty well at the box office, regardless. So.
Well, it's a Stephen King movie.
Yeah. But,
So before we continue with that stuff,
yeah,
I think we should all introduce ourselves. They know our names.
I said your names.
That's what I said. They know our names,
Yeah.
but they should know. Why am I the gaming nerd? Why are you?
Why are you the gaming nerd?
Well, I want to give all of our stories. I don't want to give it, but
Tell your story, Blake. Let the audience members know who Blake Ross is.
that's what I want. So,
Alright. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up here actually. Just
Lafayette?
yeah.
Okay.
I've lived here my whole life. I moved once when I was 5, and I've lived in that house 13 years now. My first gaming console was the original Xbox, which what are you laughing at?
Keep going, you're doing great.
Which I played Halo and stuff on. I played the weirdest games.
Okay.
What's so funny?
I'm letting you talk.
I know what he's laughing about.
What?
Go.
No, say it.
Go.
From there, I went to the Wii, and I got into my PS phase for the longest time when I went over to a friend's house, and they had the original PS1.
Yeah.
And they had, the PS1 games were obviously really cool and everything, but all I remember is, the 101 Dalmatian game. It's such a weird game, but...
Keep going. You're doing great.
I'm gonna smack you.
So this last trailer is pretty good. I don't know if you guys caught it.
No.
No? Okay, so I gotta tell you, it did get announced. It's gonna be PG-13. Split and Unbreakable are both PG-13. Do you realize that?
No.
Yeah.
It felt like it was R.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because Shyamalan has not made a R-rated movie except for The Happening. Remember that? And it was like a catastrophe.
I never saw it.
Okay, but it was horrible. It's Shyamalan's biggest flop. And I think that's probably why he doesn't want to make Glass rated R, because he shot himself in the foot last time he did it, with the movie. And I was really surprised, because if you watch the trailer, and I'm trying not to give anything away for you guys, because I do want you to.
I have seen it.
You did see the trailer?
I saw it at the movie theater.
Perfect. This new one?
Yeah.
Okay, because this new trailer for it, you see just McAvoy, the kills are just brutal.
Yeah.
And, there's this awesome shot with Mr. Glass, and he's talking, and McAvoy's just in the background, and he's just throwing motherfuckers up against the wall. It's fantastic. Like, I was blown away by it. I do recommend you guys check it out. Blake, you saw it. What'd you think?
So I was confused for the first part of it just because I didn't know what was going on. But once they explained, like, you know, super smart but super fragile, like, that instantly just told me everything that I needed to know.
Well, have you seen the other two movies?
Actually, I haven't.
You need to.
Yeah,
I do.
It'll put a new perspective on comic book movies. I think, like we had a discussion about this. I think this is going to break new ground in comic book movies, the superhero genre, into more of the horror genre. I'm hoping New Mutants is good too. When they push that back to next year, I don't know if I'm segueing too much, but
No, that's perfect. I was going to say this. So
it's just that I don't know if they're pushing it back because Disney's gonna they're wanting to make their best moves before Disney buys them out.
Right.
Which actually takes place officially the beginning of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean they pushed X-Men, Dark Phoenix back again too to November next year when it was supposed to be summer, and I don't know. I hope that New Mutants does well, but I have my doubts just because of the reshoots and isn't it like they're locked in an asylum or something like that?
Yeah, it's the X-Men horror film, which is something I've been wanting for a while, you know, because I feel like X-Men is in a position to explore different genres.
No, yeah,
that's why I'm really excited. But for Glass, I'll say this: if this movie does well, it's going to change the way superhero movies are made. It's going to be a grittier style of superhero film. So I implore everybody that wants...
Well, away from the different grit from the, like, Batman Begins, X-Men, Blade. That was gritty, but that was, like cheesy gritty, but we needed that.
Well, I wouldn't call Batman Begins cheesy gritty.
No, that was gritty, but it had that same type of feel to all those comic book movies that came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, I mean, Dark Knight trilogy, it's Nolan's movies. They feel like Christopher Nolan movies. That's the best way I can put those. But I see what you're saying, yeah. We've had grit, but we haven't had, well-made great superhero
like a
movies.
genre.
Well, we have. But...
Like, we haven't had a genre crossover like this before. I mean, we did with more so with the Beast. Mm-hmm. I mean, not the Beast. It's Split. But it wasn't. It was more of a horror film instead of a hero film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shyamalan's showing every studio out there you can do this in a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
Assuming this movie is as great as I think it's going to be. I'm going to throw a question at you guys. You get one movie next year. You get to go see. Okay. Glass, Avengers 4, the Joker movie, or Star Wars. You only get to go see one next year. Where are you going?
What would you pick if it's not really?
Yes. 100%. I'll tell you why, too. But it's honestly because, okay, Star Wars is this fantastic trilogy. It's had its time. In the original trilogy. I think it's time for somebody else, another filmmaker, to step in and make that trilogy. And I think that Shyamalan could do that with Glass. And I'm rooting for the guy. I think he's a fantastic filmmaker. I think he's made a lot of mistakes in his career in terms of the films he decided to put out. But that happens. But I think he has redeemed himself 100%. Split was a home run. Knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think after Glass, we're going to look at Split and Unbreakable, both very differently. And I think that they're going to become better movies with time. And I think that this trilogy could be the next great trilogy in film. And that's why I'm picking Glass, if I can only see one. Where are you guys at with this?
I'd have to wait for the trailers to come out. Or at least more info.
I can see that. Like, we haven't had anything on the other 3 movies
Yeah.
that I named, but except for some information.
Yeah.
But
At this point, with seeing the trailer, I would have to say Glass 2.
yeah,
And obviously the fact that I, only seen a couple of the Star Wars movies doesn't help, but
we gotta get you there, bud.
Oh, yeah,
we can talk about
definitely.
this shit.
but Glass definitely for me right now.
Yeah, I think even after I see the trailers, though, I'm still gonna go Glass. We'll see. I don't know. You know how big of a Star Wars fan I am. I can see the Star Wars trailer, and
Blowing you away.
yeah,
I mean, and the Glass trailer was really well made. Like, and you can tell, like, the movie's gonna be awesome. Like, it just seems like it from the trailer.
Do you think this does well at the box office?
I think people are still apprehensive about Shyamalan's work.
Really?
Well, didn't he do Devil?
Well, he wrote the script for Devil.
Yeah, that was not good.
You didn't like it? A lot of people do.
No.
I didn't see it.
I didn't like Devil.
I didn't see it because that was in the time that Shyamalan's movie sucked. And but here's my thing: Unbreakable didn't do too well when it came out because it was marketed as a horror film, and it's not.
No, it's
So it didn't do incredibly well. But with time, that movie is it's my favorite Shyamalan movie. It's most people's favorite in Shyamalan's work. And then we got Split, which is not marketed as an Unbreakable sequel. Had it been, it might have done better.
yeah, but then you would ruin the twist ending.
Exactly. But my point is, this movie is marketed as both an Unbreakable sequel and a Split sequel. There you go. That's just right there to me. Right there, that tells me that this movie's going to do well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my opinion on it.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think, like I said, I'm rooting for the guy, and I think even after I saw the trailers for all the most anticipated movies, it's not that I don't want to see those other movies. I'm still gonna go Glass with it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just kind of where I'm at. But so we did see some movies recently. I don't know if Blake saw any of these, but Venom.
Oh, yeah.
There's some mixed reaction there.
What did you think?
I liked it.
I loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it. I think the critics are too harsh.
Yeah. I think fans are too generous.
Hardcore fans are too generous. He broke character a few times, actually.
Definitely.
And like when Venom attached himself to the love interest, I forget her name.
I can tell you the actress.
See, I don't even remember her name.
Exactly.
I'm not that much of a. I like the character, but I haven't read hardly any Venom comics.
We should probably put a spoiler in the beginning of this.
I don't think we've had any spoilers yet.
We will.
Yeah, we definitely will. Like, we're talking about Venom, and I'm going to go into some detailed stuff.
Okay, we're gonna spoil Venom, but when we talk about Stars Born here in a minute, I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can spoil Venom, so spoiler warning: the movie's been out for 2 weeks. If you haven't seen it by now, sorry. Fast forward a bit. We'll get to some other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I mean, so my thing is there's some evident issues in this movie, especially right at the beginning. It's a train wreck.
The movie did, it definitely developed later on.
It's a mess.
Yeah. The whole beginning, it's slow, but it develops story through time. But later on, it really gets into the action, and
It really
picks
didn't
up.
pick up till the symbiote merged with them.
Yeah, that's the best part of the movie. That saves. See, here's the thing. I don't like a lot of the characters in this movie. Most of them are quote-unquote cartoon characters. I don't care about this villain. I think he's the dumbest villain of all time. I won't say that. I think when it came down to the final battle, that was some sick action.
It was.
That was really good. I'll say that for it. But my thing is, I'm going to see a Venom movie. So, at the core of this, I have to care about the Venom character.
Right.
And that's what the movie did well. I like the Venom and Eddie Brock dynamic.
Yeah.
that's what I'm supposed to care about, and that's why I give this movie such a pass. That's what saved it for me,
Yeah.
ultimately. And the rest of this movie can go to hell. If this gets a sequel, and it pretty much
No, it will.
It's in the bag. It
Yeah.
did incredibly well.
Yeah.
It did wonders over the opening weekend. So it's going to get a sequel. Moving forward, we need the studio to either think or get a new filmmaker. You know what I mean? I do not want the same studio interference in a Venom sequel that we had in this film.
Well, I heard they let him just like improvise a bunch of the lines, and that you don't do that with comic book characters. I think you have to stick to their role.
Everything being said about this movie, I think it did show that you can do Venom without Spidey. I think it showed that
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
100% doable, and I give it credit for that as well.
And like I told you about, like when after I left the movie theater, I was so confused. So I was like, I grew up on Spider-Man, and so when I hear Venom, I was like, it's the Spider-Man villain getting his own movie. I was like, this has nothing to do with Spider-Man, and I was so lost. But then it got explained to me, and so I understand it now. But I was a little upset about that fact. But the movie did amazing. Once I realized,
Yeah.
that I enjoyed the movie very much.
Well, it's called Venom, not Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, that's what makes it. And that's why I give it credit, because when it got into the Venom stuff, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams, and here's what I'll say, that she played the love interest.
Yeah.
I do think that she needed more to do, but on the same hand, her and Tom Hardy didn't have enough chemistry. So if the studio cut, like, scenes of hers because of that, I get it, because they didn't have chemistry. But that's why you gotta try to get these things right from the get-go.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't understand. That's why I don't understand a lot of movies. Like, why don't they just try to get it right from the get-go?
Yeah.
But they didn't have chemistry. But individually, they both do well for what they have to do. They just, when they're together, there's no spark. There's no chemistry. There's nothing going on there.
I felt there was something, but not much.
I didn't get a spark between those two. I don't want her in the sequel.
It was better than Lois and Clark on.
Like, she just dies in the beginning. He's like sad for a couple of days, and then
I hated Henry Cavill's romance, quote unquote, with Lois on Batman versus Superman. Like, people might love this film, but I hate it.
Really?
I don't hate it, but it's not rewatchable to me. It's just like I don't know. There's so much wrong with that movie to me.
I'll say this, with Lois Lane and Batman v Superman, I agree.
There is no connection between there might be as much connection between Eddie Brock and what's her face. Like, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't know her name. I know the actresses.
Yeah. Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams, yeah. She's a great actress. Did you see her in Manchester by the Sea?
No.
It's a great performance. You got to see that movie. She's got the talent, and she did fine in the movie. I just don't think there was any spark between those two characters. I hated them. But I don't want to see them back, or her back in the sequel.
I want to see her for a couple minutes. I want her to die, like I said before.
Tom Hardy, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Well, Carnage could kill her.
I would love that.
I mean, and that would make perfect sense. Like, they do that in a lot of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you could come back, go for the love.
I don't know. They could play around with it. Like, Venom used to be a bad guy, but now he's an anti-hero. Or they could just make it where he goes all crazy and teams up with Carnage, what they used to do on the old Spider-Man cartoon. I don't see them doing that, though, because everything's more towards, you got to sell it for the audience.
How I see the movie going down, and this is just from, like, history of movies and how they usually do stuff, is
Well, I certainly don't want that.
Oh no, definitely not. But
Everything should be unpredictable. But
this is the most usual thing. Love interest dies by someone or is attacked, harmed. The hero spends the entire movie going and getting her.
remember the time when the love interest dying was an unpredictable idea,
And now it's like she's gonna die next movie.
Gwen Stacy.
That was the biggest thing that happened in comic books.
Yeah. I used to be an unpredictable thing, and then now it's like overplayed.
It's a trope.
It is. It's a big trope. I don't.
And that's why it's so predictable. Like, it might not happen, obviously, but it's going to be something around that with the love interest.
I got a question for you guys, though. You got to give Venom a grade right now.
Like out of 10 or like...
We'll do A through F. What do they call that? The school grading?
That's what Entertainment Weekly does.
Do that?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say a B+.
B plus?
C plus maybe.
I'm going C. I think it was fine. I think it... Maybe a C plus. Because it, like, just crossed the line of me liking it.
I feel like it's because I remember the ending half of the movie first, because the first half was boring. It was slow and boring, so I remember the second half where it got good.
I was laughing my ass off.
Oh no, like they had some hilarious parts.
Only
like,
because of the problems. They weren't supposed to be funny, I don't think, but they were, and that's like, it's like Venom's like, oh, it's like Venom is a bad movie, but it's like the Cadillac of bad movies. It's the most watchable bad movie.
Okay, yeah. But it's not so bad it's good, though. Like...
No, it's not like The Room,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or something like that, but, I mean, it's just like, they did just enough good to make it not bad, and it's just right at that line.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere between a C and C plus. If there's an in between grade for C and C plus, that's where I'm at. 5.5, I guess.
Yeah.
Out of 10, if we're gonna do the 1 out of 10 scale or whatever. But I do want to talk about. Let's move on here real quick. Unless anybody had anything else to say about that.
I'm gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
When I watched it in the theaters, there was this couple who had their phone on and had a baby. Both.
Like they had the baby in the theater.
Yeah, they had the baby in the
Like
theater.
she had it in the theater.
Yeah.
Wow.
The baby started crying.
Did the EMT show up and everything?
I hate you.
Like she gave birth in the theater?
No.
Okay.
It was like 6-month-old or something, and at least 3 times through the movie, it started crying.
Yeah.
Instead of taking it out like any other human, they just sat there, told it to be quiet. Not only that, their phone went off like twice. I can't stand people like that, but...
I could sit here and rant about theater goers all day.
yeah.
I go to the theater enough to rant about this. And that's actually a good segue into A Star is Born, because I had that same story. It's probably the first time I've been in a movie where the lady did take her baby out that was crying, and it was refreshing.
Wow.
Yeah. Baby started crying. She was out. Why somebody took their baby to A Star is Born, which, by the way, was surprisingly it wasn't just an R-rated movie. It was like a hard R. Like, that movie is a hard R. That movie shocked the hell out of me.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't this the only
Oh,
movie
no,
begging
no,
me to go and see?
I saw a few things coming.
Well, there were certain things I saw coming. But, okay, so here's the thing. I never actually saw any of the original.
Neither did I.
Okay. There were some things I saw coming. I mean... Some of the moments that were surprising were, like, surprising in the sense that, like, I saw them coming maybe moments before the moments came, if that makes sense. But I didn't see them coming...
Way in advance.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like, I guess I didn't, like, going into the movie, the direction that it goes, I didn't expect it to go that way, going into it.
Yeah.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
It's not like unpredictable throughout, but what do you think of this? I gotta know.
I was impressed by
no spoilers here.
I was impressed by the singing and the guitar playing. I didn't know Bradley Cooper could play the guitar so well.
I don't think he did either, from what I understand. He learned for this movie.
Yeah.
So,
I also like that Lady Gaga can go away from just pop.
I know, she's a powerhouse in this movie.
I didn't even know that Lady Gaga was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
love
This is
interest.
the movie that you were like begging me to see, right?
No, I was talking about First Man.
Okay.
which we never went. So I never went. So I wanted to see it, but
We'll do
that's
that.
supposed to be pretty good as well.
We can all go see it sometime, and then we can review it next time.
Yeah, we should go see it before next week. But the no, Star is Born, man. Lady Gaga just blew me away in this movie. I'm not a Lady Gaga fan in the sense like I think she did okay at the Super Bowl, but like I'm not a fan. I don't listen to her music. Honestly.
Yeah,
It's not my cup of tea. But her voice is outstanding. She definitely proved to me anyway that she has, which she doesn't have to, but she proved to me that she definitely has one of the best voices out there right now in this movie, and that she can act. And she's not gonna be one of those girls, I don't think, or one of those female pop stars that just pops up in movies all the time.
Oh, no,
I think
no.
she's gonna be somebody that, if she does pop up in films, she's going to be very selective
Yeah.
on what she picks.
How many other movies is she in?
She's done this, and this is her first film debut, I believe, but she was in a season of American Horror Story, which I didn't watch, but I heard that her performance was also great there. I think she won an Emmy. So
Wow.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good, but I
she
haven't
was
seen
at
it
least
yet.
nominated for an Emmy. I didn't see it either, but my friend told me to watch it. And you know what surprised me in this movie was, and I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with his work, but Andrew Dice Clay, who played her father, he massive. I mean, Andrew Dice Clay is one of the biggest comedians of the '80s.
Yeah.
Not a comedic role per se here, but he just played the. I don't want to say he was even like comic relief, but he was like the one thing in this movie that had a really sweet element to it. He definitely, just something about his character just was incredibly endearing in this movie, and he was somebody that I latched onto. He played a really good father figure.
Yeah, he did.
It surprised me. It's just not in Dice's persona to do that, but he did do it, and he did it well. And Bradley Cooper, I actually heard this story that he called Andrew Dice Clay. I might be getting this backwards a little bit, but he did call Andrew Dice Clay to come in to meet with him. I guess he was supposed to meet with Bradley Cooper. So he puts him in this room, or he gets sent into this room in his office or whatever, and it's Lady Gaga. It's not even Bradley Cooper in the office. It's Lady Gaga. Or maybe this was vice versa and Gaga walked in. Either way, it was something like that. And he did that, and he had like cameras and was like watching them talk just to see if they had chemistry.
Oh.
That's smart.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually brilliant.
Oh, yeah. And Sam Elliott, too, who played Bradley Cooper's older brother.
Yeah, much older.
This is the best Sam Elliott role I've ever seen. Bradley Cooper, I do want to kind of talk about, it's early, but not really, because we're starting to see some of the best movies of the year at this point in time. I mean, they're all going to come out within the next couple months here, and I'm just wondering, Oscar season, when it comes time for the Oscar nominations, does this movie get into the Best Picture category?
I would think so.
I'm saying no.
Really?
I'll tell you why. I think it is great. It's my second favorite movie of the year, honestly. That's how much I loved it. But this is my thing. It's a remake. I think no. I'm predicting no there. And even though Bradley Cooper did a great job directing his first time out, I don't think he'll get into the Best Director category. That's just me, because he directed a remake and not something original. I'm sure like I said, I can't vouch for it. I'm sure he put his own original ideas in there. But I think the definites, and they all are deserving. And don't get me wrong, like I said, Bradley Cooper's definitely deserving of a Best Director nomination. I just don't think he'll get it. But the ones that are incredibly, the ones that I think are a lock, a sure deal, Bradley Cooper, Best Actor, Lady Gaga, Best Actress, and then Sam Elliott, I think, will get Best Supporting Actor. I think that those are sure deals. And I think Shallow is going to get Best Original Song. Or not, I'm just saying nominations. I'm not saying these people are going to win these categories, but they'll definitely be nominated. I can't say that they're going to win. I haven't seen every movie this year.
Yeah.
But, that's just kind of where I'm at. Do you think, I don't know, if you had to give me your favorite performance in the movie?
I gotta say Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I'm leaning a little more toward Gaga myself, but I think that he did kill it.
They both showed like a lot of emotion, but just with his meltdowns, like.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, you're reminding me of things in the movie because it's so hard with this powerhouse of a cast because.
Well, like he was up and down, like throughout the movie, and when he was down, that was just like you could see what was going through him.
And I'll go ahead and say this because I don't see it as a spoiler, and I do want, if anybody's watching this, to go see this movie. A lot of people think that this is going to be just a love story, probably, but really, what this is a film about, what the film is actually about, is it's kind of going through the motions of being in the music industry.
Yeah.
And what that can do to people. And I mean, we've seen this before. I kind of like to compare this to, in real life, a little bit, not what happens at the end of the movie, but a lot of probably what they're going through. Slightly a little bit to that whole Blake Shelton, Amanda Lambert thing that was going on, where he kind of fell in love with the pop star and cheated on her with Gwen Stefani, which doesn't happen in this movie, but it's just the best analogy I can come up with for two artists in real life. But really, we're kind of watching a rock star just go through a low point, you know, drug addiction and alcoholism, and in those moments, Bradley Cooper just.
Well, it brought me back to Mark Wahlberg with Rockstar, actually.
That's actually a really good film to compare it to in a lot of ways. How long it's been since I've seen Rockstar, but now that you say that, absolutely. I would say Bradley Cooper is better in this movie than Wahlberg was in Rockstar, for sure. But it is a lot like that, yeah. And then but we really get the other side of it quite a bit with Lady Gaga's character and her trying to become a pop star and all the, not trying to become a pop star, she kind of gets thrown into it in a lot of ways. And you can compare that to artists we have now too, like Justin Bieber, or, you know, somebody gets thrown into it. And not that she does anything insane like him, but you know, there's definitely mistakes that are made with her character. Yeah. And you know, she doesn't really, you know, you can see that this industry, there are people that want to tell you what to do. And not, you know,
the movie definitely showed that.
Yeah.
Didn't Justin Bieber start like on YouTube?
Did he what? Yes, he did. He was discovered by some guy. They were talking about this on the Justin Bieber roast. But yeah, he was discovered by some guy like in the middle of the night. And it was the best Kevin Hart joke in that whole roast. Scooter's the guy that discovered him. That's the name of the guy. He's like, so Scooter discovers Justin Bieber like at 1 a.m. on YouTube. He's like, sounds like Scooter just got off a dick beating session. It's one of my favorite jokes, which was probably true.
And it's like, okay, nobody likes Justin Bieber except for like little girls. What would be your like favorite song though?
Nobody liked or likes now, because I think
I never had it.
I think the perception of Bieber's changed now.
Oh no, it's he went from like this little punk, not even punk boy.
I couldn't stand his music, honestly. It wasn't even his persona. Like I couldn't stand his music when I was young.
Definitely not.
I thought it was horrible.
It was repetitive, and
I think it's fine now.
I still don't think it's fine. His music's good, I guess, but going from like, it's almost like we watched him grow up in a matter of a couple of years, because he went from this little kid singing on YouTube, and going from that to he got a haircut, he started doing drugs, and you could tell he didn't want to not show it. He blatantly like showed, I'm rolling with bad people now.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of what "Purpose," my favorite Bieber song, by the way. But just to answer that question earlier, I thought that album was good, and it wasn't just the music. The music was fine. I thought it was the best he's ever done, but it was more just kind of the movement and what it all kind of meant, and how much work he actually put into it, because it was kind of the first time that he did something on his own. And I'm going to segue back into this movie, because that's kind of what we see with Lady Gaga's character. It's the evolution of a pop star. You know, she doesn't start out as a kid, but she, you know,
It's how hard it is to get in.
It's the entire evolution of pop star that
Right.
you see, and it's going from the industry trying to control you. Her manager in this movie, you hate him. He's a
Yeah,
piece
you
of shit.
do.
Oh, yeah.
He's
You
a
do.
controlling piece
And a
of
lot
shit.
of managers are.
Yeah, and Bradley Cooper. I'll say this without trying to spoil it. He does say some mean things to her when she does get into the industry and starts to rise a little bit, and and they're really shitty things that he says to her, and they sound kind of envious.
Yeah.
But you kind of really do see where he's coming from. He doesn't want her to fall into the wrong path, and you
Right.
do see where he's coming from on that. But this manager is a real scumbag, and I think that this guy that played shitty music manager to a T. I don't know the actor, but he did it. He did it well.
Yeah.
I gotta give him a lot of props too. Maybe he'll be in the best supporting actor. I doubt it because this character there was just
No support.
no real layers to him. Just kind of the one note.
he was
He's
just a
very
dick.
one note dick.
Yeah.
But something that he says toward the end of the movie, and when you see it, it makes a significant impact.
You did good, kid.
It makes a significant impact in the outcome, and it's not something like real simple. But I don't want to get into that too much because I really don't want to spoil this movie. There's too many layers and too many things in the story that it's one of those movies I just don't want to talk about in depth right now because I want people to see it. Go see it in the theater too because like the sound mixing, I think it'll get a nomination for sound mixing as well because those scenes where there's like concerts in the amphitheater, those blew me away. Like the sound, it sounds like a real probably how it would really sound in an amphitheater. I don't know if you had that experience. Maybe it's because the speaker for me was like right there where I was sitting, but it honestly sounds like.
Do you think it's gonna sound different for like headphones or?
Probably not if you're watching it in the HD quality. Headphones, I would say, or if they're decent headphones, yeah, it would probably sound good. Yeah. You would have to watch it in HD quality.
What about my crappy TV?
Probably not. Yeah, I see it in the theater. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. See it in the theater, or unless you have a great sound system, you can watch it at home. Which that's the thing. Like, it scares me too. Like theaters, they're gonna go. It's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be there for press. That's my prediction. I'm not saying anytime soon. I'm thinking like years down the road.
Well, like decades or.
Yeah, I would say decades. I think that theaters are going to go, but I think they're going to be there for press. You know what I mean? People, so they can actually see the movie with the full experience.
Yeah.
But, I also think a great idea, if that does go down, where theaters are kind of obsolete, like, I think you're going to see, like, to actually, to get the theater experience, I think is going to become expensive, is what it's going to be. And I think but that could be good because it makes the theater experience more special,
Well, I've heard this idea from a friend before that if they just want to get rid of, like, torrenting, just have the movie available right then and there to buy at the theater.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing, too, is I think we're going to see, look how quickly things are coming out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to have a service
It's like 2 to 3 months, though. It's always like that.
It's gotten faster for a lot of movies, though. I remember when I used to have to wait a year, for movies to come out. At least, yeah.
Maybe certain movies. For me, it's,
If they were successful in the box office, or if they were, critically acclaimed, you used to have to wait a long time. You still kind of have to wait a longer time. Like, I guarantee A Star is Born, we don't see it till next year on DVD.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit into next year. We're not going to see that till Oscar season. But that's just a play for Oscars more than anything. But still, back in the day, man, you used to have to wait, a lot longer. I've noticed it. That I feel like they come out a lot quicker these days. And I think what we'll eventually see, this is what I was trying to get to, is what we'll eventually see is we'll probably see a service. We'll have the theaters there, and they'll work the same. But we'll also have a service where we can rent movies from the theater, or that are playing in the theater. Because look at these sites, you got your 1, 2, 3 movies, the Fire Stick.
Yeah.
It's going business. And
It's
just the piracy websites.
Yeah.
Well, Lafayette's getting ready to have a pizza place that's also has a movie theater inside it. So that we'll see how that goes too.
That sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah. Is it like gonna be like a Noble Runs or
It's a Domino's.
Domino's? Really?
Wow.
That's the IMAX though?
No, it's gonna be like a small building on the north side.
Oh, okay. Well, it's an indie theater, or is it just
No.
like a theater?
It's like I think of a one-room theater.
Okay. I wonder they'll probably get like a lot of smaller films though.
Yeah.
Yeah, which will be cool. It'll be like an indie theater because we need one of those out here because so I don't have to travel all the way to Carmel to see certain movies.
Yeah.
This year we've been doing well with getting some of the ones that are getting Oscar buzz. Stars Born, First Man, Bad Times at the El Royale. You know, so
Oh, I can't wait to see that one.
it's out, so we can go at any point. But yeah, I'm excited for that too. I haven't really heard anything on that one. First Man and Stars Born though, they're just getting rave reviews.
Yeah.
Unlike Venom, where you see the fans reviewing it better than the critics.
Yeah.
But I know Stars Born is definitely my second favorite movie this year. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but for me, that's kind of where I'm putting it. It did blow me away. I can't wait to buy it. Now, here's a question I was going to ask you because I think you and I are similar on this, to where we have that group of actors that will go support anything they do. Joe Gordon-Levitt for you, and
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac, I know, are two for you. Does Bradley Cooper fall into that category now for you after seeing this, or?
I mean, yeah, it's raised the bar. He's more just than the pretty boy from The Hangover.
Yeah, well, he's got range, man.
Yeah.
After seeing this, I mean, Silver Linings Playbook, you know, all that stuff. I mean, he's definitely got like a lot of range. He's proving that with every role he takes, man. I'll say this: every role I see Bradley Cooper take, he's always put 110% into it. I gotta hand that to him. So we're gonna move on here. There were some videos I wanted to talk about that kind of came out. The first one being Mark Ruffalo on Jimmy Fallon. Did you see this?
I think you told me about it.
Yeah, this was so he goes on and quote unquote leaks the Avengers 4 title.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
It's bleeped out. There's a black bar over his face.
But people got through it.
Well, the people cheered when he did this, and somebody took they used a despecializer to try to get through the bleep, and what you get from that, and top music techs that use this kind of technology are saying that this is legit. They really did use the despecializer to go through this, and what they got was the Last Avenger for the Avengers 4 title. What do you think? Do you think he's lying? Or do you think that's the real title?
I mean, he's leaked stuff before.
He has, but that was kind of why he leaked it on the show. If you watch the video of him doing it, it was kind of Fallon making fun of him for slipping stuff, and then he was just kind of like, you can give us another spoiler, kind of like egging him on type of thing, and then he said the Last Avenger, and then like, I don't know, my honest opinion, I think it's fake. I don't think that's the real title.
I mean, it has like no significance to any Avengers storyline. I mean, because every Avengers story besides Avengers 1 has had a storyline that's been in the comics or titled after him. But so it could be just a
Hoax.
hoax. Yeah. But I don't know. It might just be too much press right now. I don't know.
Well, a lot of the rumors is that it's going to be Annihilation. That would be the title, which probably isn't true either. But my thing is like the thing I liked about the Last Avenger thing, like you were saying the Captain America thing. You know,
Yeah, he might be the last. It might be his last movie. But he could just take another name too.
Yeah, and Captain America, the first Avenger, it makes it more poetic that way.
Yeah.
But
The name definitely makes sense, and with the show, if he was just giving out a random screw off name,
Yeah.
then they wouldn't have bleeped it. And now, even that they did bleep it, they're
They
gonna
could have
have.
as a joke, though. I mean, Fallon's shows. all
That's what I
comedy,
mean, though.
but they could have as a joke. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I'm torn on this whole thing because, like I said, I think the title would be very poetic if that was the name of it, and completely unpredictable. But the thing is if he slips it, you know what I mean, then it is predictable. And the Russos even tweeted to Mark Ruffalo and said, "Mark, you're fired," which is obviously a joke. You know? But my thing is like even taking that into consideration, does this make it seem like it's even more of a joke, or do you think it's legit?
It's hard to tell at this
It
point.
is. I'm so torn. I think it's a lie. I don't think, or a hoax or whatever. I don't think
Red
it's. Yeah, red herring. I don't think it's legit. I don't think that's going to be the title. I think it would be pretty cool, and I think that they might be shooting themselves in the foot if it's not that title at this point, because I think that a lot of people really do like that title.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe the Russos let him go on there, and because you go on Fallon, it's a pre-interview. It's different than when he slipped in the past and press junkets to where everybody's going to just ask him things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be different questions. You never really know what's going to get thrown at you. You're answering questions all day. It's different on a press junket, but on a show like Fallon, there's a pre-interview. You know what Fallon's going to say. Actors know their answers. Some actors refuse to do the pre-interview, but I'm pretty sure it's in Mark Ruffalo's best interest to get the pre-interview. So, I don't know. I don't know why he would have actually slipped the title.
Yeah.
Did the Russos really not see, or Disney not see people going in with the Despecializer when they have that technology out there? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
It could be a red herring. I mean, they did that with the Hulk and Infinity War and some other stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it could easily be a lie. That's what I'm leaning toward. I'm just.
Yeah.
My thing is, I do like the title, even though I think it's a lie. I like that title a lot, and it's not just because not just because of The Last Jedi, which I do love that movie. But yeah, please don't give me shit. But it's poetic, like I said, with the first Sematary, and that's why I'm kind of mad about it. If it is a hoax, I'll be mad. I'll go see the movie.
Oh yeah.
I'll go see the movie. I'm probably gonna love the movie. I just think it's one of those things where I'm in the middle on it,
Yeah.
It's a teeter-totter, per se. I did the other video I wanted to show you guys because I got a freaking kick out of this. This is Bob Dylan singing "We Are the World." And I think in the video, it's not the full "We Are the World" song. I think in the video they just kind of zoomed in on Bob Dylan, and this is like, I love Bob Dylan. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. Favorite songwriters, I should say.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about his voice. His songwriting is amazing.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's first 3 albums are 3 of my favorite albums out there. But as he's gotten older, he's just gotten so, I don't know if I want to say senile, but I'd actually never seen this. The video, this came out 11 months ago. But I don't know. But you guys do have to see this because it's just, it's fantastic. He just looks like he does not want to be there, and I got a kick out of that.
He looks like he doesn't know what's going on. He just woke up.
And that's just kind of how he's been these days. If you watch him, there was this. I didn't want to talk about another video today. I didn't want to move on, but I want to talk about it a little bit because there was this performance he did on Letterman. I think this was last year or the year before. When did Letterman retire? Had to be a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was like 4 years ago, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, there was a performance he did on there, and this guy, I don't know what's up with him, but he's singing, and he's just, walking away from the microphone weirdly, and, to a point where he's walking off camera and then walking back into camera to sing again. It's just the strangest.
Forgot the mic.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but there's a great documentary you guys gotta watch. Speaking of Bob Dylan, it's called. I'm gonna butcher this title. It's one of my favorite documentaries too. I think it's called No Direction Home, and it's actually done by Martin Scorsese. And what I loved about the documentary is he actually treats it like one of his movies, and you do get a lot of insight of Bob Dylan, just kind of the time of folk music. And, you know, whether you're into that kind of music or not, this documentary is interesting.
Right.
And it's directed so well. It's Scorsese does treat it like his movies. He sets up the time period and just kind of, I don't want to say characters because it's about real people, but characters, you know what I mean? It's the same way he would do in a movie.
Right.
And that's a really good documentary. You guys got to watch that. But anyway, I just got a kick out of that video, and I thought you guys would too. Moving on, though, because that doesn't matter at all. The Star Wars Resistance TV series. Anybody check it out yet?
I did a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just not too keen on the animation style.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's fine.
I prefer Rebels better.
Well, I do too at this point, but I don't know. I've seen episodes 1 through 3. I gotta say it's pretty good. I'll say, story-wise, I like the beginning of this more than I like the beginning of Rebels. I care more about the character of Kaz than I did for Ezra. I mean, once I got through Rebels, Ezra's one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
That series is some of the best Star Wars telling, or Star Wars storytelling you can see. Once you get through the Rebel series, it's some of the best Star Wars. But with Resistance, I'm just saying in this opening, you know, I might like the Rebels animation style better, but story-wise, I'm liking the story a little bit better just from the get-go. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to go places. I think, you know, I loved having Oscar Isaac in the first episode as Poe Dameron. You know, he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters, and he did fantastic in that episode. And, did you see the whole first episode?
No, I haven't even seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No,
okay.
no.
All right. Well, definitely check it out. It's worth watching. I think it's going to go places. We get. I won't say this is okay. There's one thing I won't say, but this you can read this online, so it's not really a spoiler. This was actually announced prior, but the first episode we get a lot of Poe Dameron, so I think you'll dig that. And the thing is this looked like it was going to be directed toward children, and I don't think. I mean, it seems just as directed toward children as Rebels was at this point for me. You know, maybe children will gravitate toward it more just for the animation style.
Yeah.
Adults can easily enjoy this.
It reminds me of the Green Lantern one, the animated one.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's pretty much to a T the animation style for this. But I enjoyed it 100% so far. It's a good storyline. Like I said, Poe Dameron in that first episode works. They really used him right because he eases you into the show and into these new characters. And then once he steps aside, you can just kind of invest yourself into the characters the rest of the way through. And you get Phasma in the second episode, which was awesome. And that's actually what
her character needs a lot of backstory or something done with her.
I think we're going to get that. I think that's kind of where this is going. My thing is, Jareth, and Blake, you won't be able to speak to this so much, but with this being, I think 6 years, don't hold me to this, but I think it's 6 years before Force Awakens, do we see some Kylo Ren? I mean, and keep in mind, at this point, we've already entered into the First Order, and they're going.
I mean, 6 episodes, like at this point, or
we're 3 episodes in.
Okay,
maybe 4 now.
I mean, maybe not the first season.
Okay.
Maybe later
I'm saying
on.
in the entire series.
Yeah. I would
we'll
see
get
it.
the Kylo Ren
I
stuff.
mean, in Rebels we had Vader, so I would see that happening.
My only thing with that is that Kylo Ren is a Force user, and I want to see him in the series, one way or the other, and Snoke, and hell, we'll put Luke in there, you know. But I want to see Kylo Ren in this series. My thing is with him being a Force user, you know, and our main characters not being Force users in this show, you know, we can't exactly have that awesome Rebels moment where 2 characters go head to head, where Kylo
Right.
Ren, our main character, goes head to head, almost like we kind of got to see with the Vader and.
So this is, you
Rebels.
think it may be more like the Rogue One of the animated series?
Well, it kind of has to be, only because we're not dealing with Force users,
Right.
which isn't a bad thing. I like when our main characters are Force users a little bit more, but I love Solo. I didn't need Force users at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
At all, and because it felt like good old fashioned Star Wars, and as long as they can stick with that, I'm fine. I think it'll work. But with, like I said, I do think we should see some Kylo Ren. I think this would be a really good way for, spoilers for The Last Jedi, kind of. But I think this would be a really good way for to get some backstory on, give the fans some backstory on Snoke a little bit that the fans were craving so deeply, and this would be a good way for Disney to maybe fix that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. I really think that we're at least going to get Snoke, and I think he's our sure deal, because Andy Serkis is pretty much all voiceover. He's done on screen stuff, it's great, but his main thing is voiceover. To a degree. You know what I mean? He deals in animation, even though he's motion capture in most of his roles. He does deal in animation and voiceover to some degree, and so yeah. I definitely think we'll see Snoke, and I think it would be really cool to see the Luke-Kylo Ren dynamic just a little bit before Kylo goes to the dark side. So I think that would be really awesome as well. You think we'll get that? If you had to guess, I know you haven't seen the show, so it's kind of but
You mean, I don't know. I think it's too early to tell.
Well, here's the thing too. Episode 9 comes out, and we learn all this new stuff about the Luke Kylo Ren stuff.
Well, that would be the moment to do it, though.
Right, in episode 9. Absolutely.
No, like in the show.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like if we get this new information in episode 9, then they could bring that kind of back into the series.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Which I do want in episode 9, more of that Luke and Kylo Ren dynamic that we saw in the flashbacks, I think. I don't know if JJ will do it, but I definitely
It doesn't
think
seem like his style.
it's really not, but I think he should do it. He kind of did, though. Force backs, he called them in Force Awakens.
Oh, when Rey touched the lightsaber?
They're Force backs, but I still believe some of that stuff in the Force visions are for the future, even though they're called Force backs. I still think like she saw some stuff for the future in there, but I don't know. We'll see. Most of it was definitely past, but I still think.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see. Like I said, we'll see how many risks JJ wants to take along with Disney at this point after all this great backlash we got. But did you hear they got a title though for Favreau's live action series?
Yeah, well, I heard it was going to be about the Mandalorians, right?
Right, but the show is called The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I don't know. I like this.
Yeah.
Immediately, I'm interested.
I wanted them to do more with the new extended universe with the Mandalorians.
It's the best stuff in Clone Wars. It's the best stuff in Rebels. Is the Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah.
I would say the best stuff in Rebels, but some of the best stuff. It kind of Sabine Wren's whole arc in the Rebels show is Mandalorian stuff, and I think that really made me attached to that side of Star Wars, and I can't wait to see more of it. We did get some director announcements for the show though. So Bryce Dallas Howard, redhead from the Jurassic World movies, she is actually Ron Howard's daughter, is going to be directing some episodes for The Mandalorian. What do you think of that? Here's my fear. She gets in just because she's Ron Howard's daughter, and Ron Howard's a part of the Lucasfilm family. That's my fear.
I mean, she's an okay actress, but TV, at least, is more constrained.
Oh, absolutely. You got. It's not like it's strained. I mean, you got. With TV, you absolutely have to hit certain story beats.
Yeah.
So there's got to.
I mean, there's always bad episodes.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll direct a few, but then we'll go on to another director for another show. meant for another episode, and but I don't think it's that risky. It's because it's a TV show. It's
No, I see exactly what you're saying. Like I said, there has to be a through line with television. We just hope that through line is a good one. With Favreau, at the forefront of this thing, and watching over it.
Yeah.
I imagine this TV series is going to be great. It's immediate. Just knowing alone that it's called The Mandalorian, I'm getting that Disney streaming service when it comes out. You got that. You got the Clone Wars coming back on that service. So I'm getting that Disney streaming service. Not only do we have that, we get the Scarlet Witch standalone series.
Oh, and Loki.
And the Loki standalone series. Are you guys investing in this service? Based on what we know.
I mean, I know they're putting millions towards Loki and Scarlet Witch.
Lady and the Tramp remake too.
I don't really care.
If that tickles your fancy, we do have that Lady and the Tramp live action.
Why?
I mean, if they bring like all the old like Marvel TV shows back too, yeah, they got me too.
Well, I don't think that would even be an issue either to do that. Which I think you're absolutely right. It's definitely in Disney's best interest to bring those back, and especially with you saying it right now, that would probably make you invest. So.
Yeah, I mean they've got Star Wars and Marvel.
You're getting Marvel and Star Wars anyway.
Yeah,
and I mean, somebody I don't know how much I buy into it, but somebody even said that Obi-Wan movie that we've all been so desperately craving. Well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of people have. They're even somebody had the idea, and I think it was either a rumor or just a theory that this is going to become an Obi-Wan TV series, and that's a possibility. Now imagine if they did this, animated, and they had Ewan McGregor still voicing Obi-Wan in an animated series.
That really depends on the animation style too.
Yeah.
If it's like Rose. I think, I'll say this, I think that's more likely than a movie at this point. For them to do that on their streaming service. Ewan McGregor's just got to come in his PJs, record some voiceover. That's so much more likely to happen. But
I kind of want to I don't know,
I want a movie.
I wouldn't even mind an animated movie though. And that would be different.
That would be cool.
So they could put more money into that, and focus making that a star. Look what Sony's doing with Spider-Man right now, and they're gonna make it.
No, I'm not going. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I've been saying this forever. Some of these Marvel stories that should be explored. I always thought animation was the best medium for them to do some of this stuff on, and I think that Into the Spider-Verse, if it's good, will change the way that some of these stories are told. And I always go back, for myself, I go back to Rebels. It's some of the best Star Wars storytelling. And I say that, I use this as the example because that's my biggest fandom. When I talk about Rebels, it is some of the best Star Wars storytelling I've ever seen, and it's done well. I've been begging Marvel to do this forever, make great animated films.
Yeah,
because they can do some good stuff there.
they just don't get the right animation studios to do it, and their scripts are not that well. At least the straight to DVD stuff. When you compare DC and Marvel, DC's always has the best, the better animated.
Yeah,
movies.
I think I'll be honest. I think after the clip that we got after Venom, stay till the end of Venom, folks. I think I have so much more faith in this Into the Spider-Verse based off that clip, because I was entertained through and through in that clip.
Yeah.
And if the whole movie goes on that tone, I'm down. I want it to be a little darker, but I'm down. Just based on.
I don't feel like it's. It might go darker with the villain showing up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
a little. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I definitely want strong presence.
Yeah.
With the villain, but Blake, are you getting the streaming service? Back to the Disney streaming service.
I might. I probably will, actually.
Well, do you invest in Netflix? Here's the question. Disney streaming service is expensive.
Yeah.
Right? But it's got a lot of great things on there.
Yeah.
Are you getting rid of Netflix to get the service?
All right. So how much is the Disney thing?
We don't know yet.
All right.
I'm saying, like, say it's $20 a month,
Okay.
but it's got all this great stuff on it. Would you get rid of Netflix just to cut costs to get the Disney streaming service? Or is there too much on Netflix?
Well, that's the thing is that, so I've had Netflix for a while now, and I've watched a lot of stuff on it, to the point to where there's not really a lot that I'm going to be going out to look for on Netflix. So I'd probably get rid of Netflix, go over to the Disney for a couple months, binge watch everything I can, because it's more expensive, so I'm going to spend more time on there.
Well, that's the thing, too. You really can probably binge watch the stuff on Disney like
Yeah.
that, because it's all just, I think it's all going to be that good.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously have other time constraints in our personal lives, but I think you can binge watch the stuff on Disney quicker than most of the stuff on Netflix. I'll tell you what I care about on Netflix right now: Stranger Things. That's the list. I did start watching Maniac with Jonah Hill, and I thought that was pretty good.
I haven't seen that.
I do want to go through Ozark as well.
I still only see season 2 of Ozark.
Yeah, I saw the first episode of Ozark and I liked it. I don't know why I quit watching it. I did like it. But
I think it's better than Breaking Bad.
some people are really loving it right now. It's getting a lot of acclaim. Well, that's the other thing that Netflix has for me right now is Better Call Saul, which is a show I really enjoy. I think you and I had this conversation about Netflix, though. I think they're getting bought out, or they're going to go.
I mean, they're upping their prices, too.
Yeah.
Well, everyone is competing right now. I mean, you got CBS All Access, you got Hulu, you got Amazon, and Amazon's releasing more comic book themed stuff. They got The Tick, they're getting The Boys, which is basically they're policing like superheroes that fuck up.
Yeah.
And it's their job to take them out.
Right. I think. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, Shazam. What do you guys think of that? Trailer, based on the trailer.
Based on the trailer, the CG on the neck needs work.
I did like the trailer.
I like the trailer. It feels like this second wave of movies. It could be better than the first wave.
We'll see. I
liked Wonder Woman. Out of all those,
No, yeah, me too. I love Wonder Woman. It's probably my top 5 favorite comic book movies at this point. Or I should probably say superhero movies. There's a lot of movies that are based on comic books.
Yeah.
Superhero films. I'm gonna say Wonder Woman's in my top 5 easily. Everything else it's fine. It's fine. It's not great. It's fine. That's just where I stand with that. Justice League is fun. It's fun. That's what I said.
It's worth a one watch.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun when you're drunk. Anyway, but yeah, DC has not done enough for me to make me buy into their streaming service. I think it's only like $8 a month.
Yeah. Now that we're on that topic, have you guys seen the trailer for Titans? Like,
Yeah.
it looked. It already, like, the streaming service has already gone on, and based on what I hear online, people are just hating it because
I don't like it.
they
I
act.
don't like the trailer.
They act Robin acts out of character like another Robin, and he doesn't act like not Tim Drake. He doesn't act like Dick Grayson. He acts like Jason Todd or like the Red Hood. He acts like he hates Batman. Why would he hate Batman? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
And I don't know. I'm interested in like Swamp Thing, and the Harley Quinn show kind of looks funny. That trailer was hilarious. They even like referenced like how did have a Deadpool
Right.
animation.
Yeah, no, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna have to like wait and see what else they add.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same boat with you. I don't think it's going to be a streaming service I'll ever invest in. But, the second wave of films could change my mind, because if they start making content based on the actual DCEU, and if the second wave of films is great, I'm on board, I think Wonder Woman 84 is going to be great. I think that's in the bag. And I'll say that because we have the same director, same cast to a degree. No, pretty much same cast. Yeah, Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins is directing, and Chris Pine is back. So I think that we kind of are in the bag.
Chris Pine's back?
Didn't see this?
No.
There's an image of Chris Pine. He's laughing. There's an image of Chris Pine in the mall that was leaked. Not leaked. It was actually put out by the studio. It's in the movie, so he's back somehow.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
I don't know how they would do it. I mean, I haven't read much Wonder Woman.
Steve Trevor is a character in DC.
Yeah.
He can come back. I think that there's a smart way to. Here's the thing. I think there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. And I think that it's a risk to bring him back right now because of how his story ended in Wonder Woman. But if this is done the wrong way, man.
Theory. It's a bad guy in disguise.
Could be that. Which might be the wrong way to do it, depending on.
I think it's the wrong way. I could see like some kind of magical time travel thing though, with like the the Greek gods and stuff. They could do that.
See, I don't like that word magical, and I'm a Harry Potter fan. I don't know, but there needs to be a move. I know everybody's saying this. DC just needs a move in general. Even though Wonder Woman was put out, I don't care. It's not a big.
Well, with their streaming service, they're supposed to put all of their animated stuff on there too.
Oh, let's hope so.
No, they are. They're putting like all their. That's what I hear.
No, this is what I'm saying. Let's hope it lasts that long.
Oh.
Let's hope enough people are subscribing to get that going.
Yeah.
Where are we at time wise, Blake? Are we going a little over an hour here?
I think we're almost hour and 12 minutes.
Hour 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to have a timer next time.
I know. I meant to put one on, and I just we'll just talk and see where it goes.
The first time I went and looked at the time, I was going to put it on my phone, but it was at 3%.
Okay, well that works. Anyway, so I think we should wrap up here. We had a pretty good show, unless anybody else had anything to say. Now remember, you could, I don't think I said this in the beginning, but I'm saying it now, you can follow us on Twitter at Anoraks Official, and Instagram is also Anoraks Official. I keep moving around in this chair because I'm getting antsy. But once again, we had Mr. Blake Ross on, and Jared Love. Thanks for being on, fellas. And
No problem.
we will see you guys next week. We're shooting to air this Monday mornings at 8 a.m., and you can listen to it while you clean the house or on your way to work, or you can just watch it on video. We do have that option available for you. Can't wait to talk a little more next week, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. And today's show, we are filming at Blue Moon Comics, so be sure to come check them out in Lafayette, Indiana. And appreciate you guys coming on again, and thanks to everybody. Also, if there's any fan questions you want to ask that we might be able to answer for you, you can tweet us at Anoraks Official again, and we also have an email address, which is anoraksofficial@gmail.com. So be sure to email us if you have any questions. Thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you guys then.
See ya.